चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवारि सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनि बेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि संभाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपत दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मोत्रिका मैली मुख माहि जलदि लांगी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत की तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुमरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुमरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघु भरपुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटहि बंधि महासुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तने संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान। Last time we saw how Kans was destroying one child after another. Not only this, before that we saw the nature of Vasudevji and Maa Devaki. Maa Devaki and Vasudevji, those are the kind of people who can invoke the Lord. Nirmal Chit, Nirmal Man. The heart and the mind are pure. And for the ones whose heart and mind are pure, nothing much is needed. Because all that we do in the form of rituals and religious services, going to the tirths, and all the reading of the scriptures are only to purify ourselves to the extent where we can see the Lord, we can understand Him, we can see that there is no difference between me and Him. Once that is done, nothing else is needed. But what about the people who are pure? Devki ji and Vasudev ji, they had done immense penance in their previous births. They were Manu and Shatrupa, and they had done severe austerities. And at that time, when the Lord came, He deluded them. And He said, "What would you want from me?" And Swambhu Manu, at that time, Prishni and the Prajapati, they wanted liberation. Mokshayata. They had no other bhavna in their mind, no other desires in their mind. But the Lord and His Maya, that is how He plays, right? He clouded their mind. And a sweet desire actually awakened in their heart. And what was the sweet desire? The desire to have a son like the Lord. What is the desire? The desire to have a son like the Lord. Now the Lord, God, Sri Hari Himself had implanted this thought in their mind, because initially it was not their objective. Their objective was the Lord and liberation. But see, कहते हैं ना, विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि. Or this time it is not Vinash Kale, it is a beautiful Leela that the Lord wants to play. But when the Lord wants to punish you, or when the Lord wants you to do something, He does not run after you with a stick, or He does not counsel you. He, tempers with your brain. विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि. एंड जब प्रभु को आपको दंड देना होता है तो वो लकड़ी लेके आपके पीछे नहीं भागते, वो आपकी बुद्धि हर लेते हैं. Just imagine the way He works. So He tampered with their mind, and a sweet, loving desire invoked. And the desire was to have a son like God. So God said, Tathastu, Tathastu, Tathastu. And it just so happened that when Prishni and Sutapa were there, the Lord took birth and he was known as Prishnagarbha. And later on, Prishnigarbha. Later on again, he took the birth of Vamandev. How? In the womb of Aditi, and as the father, Kashyap, he was born as Vamandev. Not only this, many scriptures say that in the form of Kaushalya and Dashrath, the same Manu and Shatrupa had been born. And who was born to them? Again, Sri Hari in the form of Ram. And now, Devaki Ma and Vasudevji are no other but Manu and Shatrupa. Again, the Lord is going to take birth as their child. But the question here might arise that they never wanted the Lord to take birth, right? उनने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था कि हम बोलें कि प्रभु आप हमारे पुत्र बन जाओ, प्रभु के जैसा. But the Lord said, there is nobody else who is like me. I am one and only, right? मैं ही हूँ. So when they said, I want somebody like the Son, like you, oh my Lord, to take birth, the Lord himself took birth. What a beautiful Leela, isn't it? The Lord was compelled to take birth, or the Lord desired to become the child of Devki and Vasudevji, or Kaushalyama and Dashrath, Prishni and her husband, or Kashyapji and Aditi. Just imagine. He desired to become their child. He wanted to feel their love. How pure those souls might have been, where the Lord got tempted. ये हरि की लीला हरि ही जाने. And when we look at Kans, again, he had all good intentions to start with, isn't it? Now, who was Kans? We have to go back. Kans was, in his previous birth, Kalnemi, right? And not only this, Krishna had to take birth because he had to destroy Shishupal and Dantavakra. Who were Shishupal and Dantavakra? They were in their previous birth Jay and Vijay. Yes, before that they were Kumbhakaran and Ravan. Before that they were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And before that they were Jay and Vijay, who were cursed by the Sanat Kumars, and they came to Mrityulok, and by choice, because they did not want to stay away from the Lord for so long, they said, we would rather have 3 births where we hate you rather than having 7 births where we love you and are your devotees, because the duration of our staying away from you is less, Lord. And over here, Kans was not hating the Lord, right? He was not in love with the Lord, but there was no hatred in his mind. Again, Narad Muni, the Devs, they wanted Sri Krishna to come and take birth, right? Sri Hari to take birth. So what did they do? They made the situation such that Kans actually almost killed Devki. Later on, he did not put them in the cell, right? He did not put them in the dungeons. He did not want to kill the initial 6 children or the 7 children. But Narad Muni himself went and instigated whom? Kans. We might say that was a very bad thing to do. No, there is no bad or good in this world. It is all a balancing act. The sooner we understand this, the better it is. There is always a fair amount of balance. When evil will rise to that extent, good will also come, right? To balance it off. But evil ko utna badna to padega na. Kans had to have that much of hatred for the Lord. And what did this hatred and fear do? When Narad Muni said, now the 8th child could be anywhere. This could be the 8th child. The middle one could be the 8th child. If it is in a circle, anybody could be the 8th child, right? So what did he do? He implanted fear in Kansa's mind. And fear is the worst of things. Or for Kans here, it became the best of things. It became the reason for his liberation. सीधी सी बात है. Because we think about the things we fear more than we think about the things we love. We think about the people we hate and fear more than the people we love. सीधी सी बात है. It is a very simple human tendency. What we dislike, what we hate, what we fear is going to be persistently there in our mind. And what we are very comfortable with, and what we know is ours, and what we know is a harmless situation or harmless people, we do not think about them so much. And this is the sad reality of our existence. And this is another thing that this episode is teaching us. Kans, that fear took so much of his sanity away that not only did he put Devki, his own beloved cousin sister, and her husband in the dungeons, he went on to destroy 6 of Devki's children, newborn infant boys. Yes, again, in the last session, we understood what was the Leela behind it. They were the children, grandchildren of Hiranyaksha, right? And they were cursed to take birth and be destroyed by their own father. So, इसमें ये भी एक चीज समझ आती है कि when somebody is troubling us, somebody is being evil to us, should we reprimand that person? Should we hate that person? Should we judge that person? Nahi. We do not know about our previous births. We do not know what is the lekha jokha, what is the hisab kitab, what is the give and take between us and them. So when somebody is being mean to you, when somebody is hating you, when somebody is troubling you, or when somebody is constantly taking from you, be it peace or material things or money, calm down. Tell yourself, पिछले जन्म में मैंने भी कुछ ऐसा किया होगा. अभी the balance sheet is being balanced, right? It is just being balanced. When we start thinking like this, and we start thinking long term, not in terms of years of our birth now, when we start thinking from this year birth to last birth to last birth to last birth, there will not be any hatred in our heart towards anybody. We would not fall into the traps of depression also, which is so prevalent nowadays, isn't it? I am depressed. I am going through a mental turmoil. Why? Because we do not know and we are unable to make sense of what is happening around us. Even with this knowledge, that it is all an equal give and take that we are going through, जो करेगा सो भरेगा, इस जन्म में नहीं तो अगले जन्म में. Bhishma Pitama asked Krishna, what had I done wrong? That I had to be pierced like an animal, not even an animal. I had to be pierced so badly by Arjun, and I'm suffering right now. I have gone back how many births? Some say 70, some say 99 births, but he went back so many births. And he said, I have not seen anything of this sort to give me this kind of punishment. And Sri Krishna at that time said, go back one more birth. And in that one more birth, by mistake, he had pierced a insect. And hence, he is being pierced right now. When this kind of a bigger perspective comes in front of us, where is the room for any negativity in our heart? There is no room for any negativity. There is no room for any hatred. There is no room for any justification also. Because it is very well justified. जो कर रहा है सो भर रहा है. Right? और अभी नहीं तो कल. ये सब हमारी ही करनी है. This is all our doing. We are getting the fruits or the results of what we have done. Unfortunately, we don't remember our previous births, right? Kans also did not remember. And when he saw all this, and when Sri Narad actually instigated him, he developed immense fear. Because he did not want to die. Death, we talked about, is another thing we fear, isn't it? Fear of death, fear of being harmed, fear of being killed, fear of not being able to take care of ourselves. We all, unfortunately, nurture this fear. And because of this, We are unable to act in this world. We are unable to love selflessly. क्योंकि हम सब डरे हुए हैं. Unlike us, what did Kans fear? He feared Krishna. So when you fear something, you are always with that thing. So he was always with God. Just like Hiranyakashipu hated Sri Hari. So much so that Sri Narsimha Avatar happened just to liberate him. Because day, night, every time, all he could think about was his hatred towards Sri Hari. He had nothing else in his mind but Krishna. Now we are all children to the Lord, okay? Chote chote bacche hain hum unke. And if our child, our baby, okay, 2 years old, 1 year old baby who has just begun to walk, comes and running towards us with a fist, right, wanting to hit us, what will we do? We'll just take that child and cuddle that child. गले से लगा लेंगे and we'll laugh. Because छोटा बच्चा है, उसको पता भी नहीं है वो क्या कर रहा है. That is the thing. Sri Hari, you love him, you hate him, you think about him with any thought, you're thinking about him. And that is all that matters. Yes, many a times the biggest of atheists become the biggest of sages. Why? Because they have spent their entire life proving that God is not. With so much of vigor, they are trying to prove and negate him that they are always with him. So over here, now Kans, the fear took over so much that he became brutal. He chained Devki and Vasudevji. Just imagine, we also discussed 3 most important points last session. Why? We have to remember so that we know the difference between the permanent love of the Lord and the temporary love of this world. See how Kans's love changed for his sister depending on the situation? Everything around us is that momentary. People who love us today will not love us tomorrow. It's all momentary. When situations are in their favor and we are acting as per their expectations, everything will be nice. आप बदल के तो देखिए, फिर देखना क्या होता है. The second thing we learned is Devki's pure mind, forbearance. She did not complain. She did not plead. She did not ask for help. She did not even hold a grudge against her own brother. She did not condemn the devas who had done this kind of an Akashvani. She was sthit in herself. Forbearance, calmness, composedness. Chup. This is faith in God. And Vasudevji, so much of trust, so much of truthfulness and honesty in his heart, that brought about a calm in his nature and a clarity in his thinking. Not only this, Kans, who was going to be killed by his own sons, Vasudevji's sons, trusted Vasudevji to hand over the children. What kind of aura must Vasudevji carry with himself? See, दुश्मन को भी हमारे शब्दों पर विश्वास हो. दुश्मन को भी हमारे शब्दों पर विश्वास हो. फिर तो हमने कुछ किया है ना. अपने तो विश्वास कर ही लेते हैं. This is very important. And Kans, when he went brutal, not only did he chain Devki and Vasudevji, he actually imprisoned his own father. He put him into the dungeons. He crowned himself the throne. And look at the extreme he went to. He befriended all the demons. All the demons became his friend. Bakasur and name it. And he joined hands with Agasur, Bakasur, Mushtika, Putna, Keshi, Dhenuka, and he married 2 daughters of Jarasandh, the Raja of Magadha. He got so over engulfed with darkness because of what? Because of fear. So is fear a vice? Yes, it is the biggest vice. It makes us act in weird ways. It is the root cause of all evil. If I were to tell you that Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Ahankar are the root causes, no. Fear, fear, fear. Dar is the root cause of all evil. And if we are able to overcome our fears, we will be able to overcome all the other 6 vikars. Otherwise, we will be stuck. And analyze it yourself. What causes anger? Fear. Yes. Fear in a way. What causes jealousy? Fear. What causes this extra mamta? Fear. What causes all the other vices? Fear. Delusion is also because of fear, because we do not want to believe that this is a delusion. And Kans, when the first child was born, again, he was not as fearful as after Naradji went and talked to him. Naradji is not to blame. The Devas are not to blame. This is what was destined. This is what was written. This is what was the blueprint. Okay? Whatever is happening in our life is just like a blueprint of a house, right? We make a blueprint, isn't it? And then the house is built accordingly. हमारी जिंदगी भी वैसी ही है. It is all predetermined. Sub destined, a blueprint is ready. And all the actors and actresses, everything is set. The situation is set. The minute we are able to internalize this fact, we won't get agitated, but we get swayed. We get swayed because we feel that nothing is in control. Nothing is happening as per our plan. Everything is as per your plan and everything is as per God's plan. You had planned all this to happen to you for your spiritual upliftment. Even for Kans, this was planned for his spiritual upliftment. है ना? Even for Shishupal and Dantavakra, even for Kumbhakaran and Ravan, everything was planned. लीला है प्रभु की. हम क्यों इतने उदास हो रहे हैं? Why are we becoming judgmental about anybody or anything or any situation? It is a play. Go with the flow. चलते चलो, चलते चलो, चलते चलो. Do you think Devki Ma and Vasudev ji were not in pain and agony? Staying in the dungeons and seeing each and every child die every single day. Yet, they did not condemn the Lord. They did not say, Prabhu, हमारे साथ क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा? If they would have uttered even once, Sri Krishna would not have taken birth. Possible ही नहीं है. When there is no surrender, when there is no acceptance, when there is no awareness of this play around us, how can the Lord come to the womb of a deluded person? Not once did they condemn even Kans. Not once did Ma Devki whine or cried or wanted to. Yes, of course, seeing their children go away must have hurt them. But yet, they were beyond it. And finally, after the 6 children, Sri Krishna was supposed to be born as the 8th child. And in the heavens, the discussion had happened that this time Balramji said, I do not want to be your younger brother. As Lakshman, you bullied me a lot, huh? I had to listen to everything you said. And now I want to do the Leela where I can scold you. Oh Lord. See, Sheshnag is becoming very naughty. He says, so that's why I want to go first as your elder brother. So the Lord said, no problem. You can be born first. And so it is said that the 7th child was Balramji. Sheshnag, Adi Shesh, was to be born by Devki. However, at that time, Maya, Yog Maya of the Lord, shifted this baby from Devki Ma's womb to the womb of the other wife of Vasudevji. And so he went there to be born from her. But how could this happen? And in the entire kingdom, the word spread that that Devki lost her seventh child. But was that true? No. We talk about technology nowadays, right? It is not necessary that spirituality is supposed to be all singing and dancing. There is science in our scriptures. Think about it. They are talking about science over here. Science, they talked about Akashvani, right? Whenever you read the scriptures, don't just read it blindly. Get the cues of scientific evolution. All through Bhagavad, we have realized how advanced we were in our sciences. This is talking about transplanting of the embryo to another, right? Transplanting the egg to another embryo. Can you believe it? So from Devki, the child was transplanted in the womb of Vasudevji's other wife. Can you imagine? It happened. Yes. Hua. So were we primitive at that time? No, right? We were not primitive at that time. We had all the technology. We had all the knowledge. That is why Balramji is actually Devki's son. But he was given birth by Rohini Ma in Vrindavan and Vrajabhumi where she was living. That is why, again and again, we cannot negate all of this as just a story. Now, at that time, did the sages write such things which are present right now? About, transplanting the egg in another womb and all that. How did they know about this? And we have heard about, when we talk about how the child stayed in the womb for a longer duration, how the evolution of a child happens. It is all, at that time they did not have x-rays and the machines we have, right? They did not have the technology. How did they know? Because they were far more advanced than we are today. And unfortunately, isn't it, that we do not look up to our own culture and Sanskriti. We do not want to find the secrets of the universe from our scriptures. We believe in the new discoveries, and these new discoveries eventually talk about what has already been written in our scriptures. That is why, just by when somebody reads the scriptures, it does not make him, क्या कहते हैं, किस जमाने के हो तुम? I think it makes somebody a very futuristic person. You're reading about things which were discovered long back. Our scriptures are not purely about stories and devotions and rituals. No. They talk facts. They talk about what happened. They talk, when they tell you that embryo in the womb of Devki was transferred to Rohini by Yog Maya, they are telling you, talking about technology. सब कुछ इसमें समझ आता है. How you manage people, how you conquer your fears, how you conquer your depressions, but yet how you love unconditionally. All these talks that we have in our management schools, or nowadays the motivational speakers are talking about, they're taking everything from your own scriptures and presenting it to you as if it was something new. And we foolishly feel that, oh wow, look at what they are saying. इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, हरि नाम लो, हरि कथा सुनो, everything will fall in place for you. But we don't do that. We go from pillar to post, trying to solve our problems. We don't go to God and the scriptures. Ma Devaki and Vasudevji did not sway. Everything happened. And it is said that after the 6 vikars are finished, right? the 6 initial vikars, Balramji came to clean the womb in a way. Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Mad, Matsarya, all these. And only then can Lord take place in your heart, right? Only then can Lord be born. Sheshnag is a sthan. Vedantic drishti se agar dekhein, so they are saying when everything, all the vices are gone, and the place is pure, your heart is pure, Lord will take birth. And Ma Devki and Vasudevji were blessed. Not only this, all the Devas were blessed. They had already decided, right? Shri Krishna is going to come, Lord is going to be born in Shri Krishna, and so we have to take birth on this earth. Everybody will become the gopis, you are going to become the gopas, you are going to become the monkeys, you are going to become the animals, you are going to be Sheshnaks, and I am going to become the elder brother. All of them rushed down. They rushed down because they wanted to be with the Sagun Sakar Roop of Lord. See, there are 2 forms, right? Sagun Sakar, Nirgun Nirakar. Where you can't see, we can just feel. And Krishna, Sagun Sakar, वो दिखते हैं, हम उनको छू सकते हैं, हम उनसे बात कर सकते हैं, मनुष्य लीला करेंगे. Shri Ram, Sagun Sakar. And so they wanted to be with the Lord. And at that time, when Shri Hari took place in Ma Devki's womb, Brahma ji, Shiv ji, all the people from the Devlok and all the other planes descended in that cell, in that dark cell where they were kept in the dungeon. And they started singing the glories of the Lord. Bhagwat is full of stutis. All our scriptures are sung, right? They are all sung. They are poetries written by these great sages, immense poetries. And they started singing the stuti to the Lord. And stuti mein kya? Every word of the stuti is precious. Every word of the stuti is precious. In a nutshell, they are saying, Lord, there is nothing beyond you. There is nothing beyond you. It is all you, and only the wise can understand. Be it the living, the non-living, be it the worlds that we can see or we can't see, be it the situations and the people and the place. Everything is your Leela. Is there anything beyond you? They describe the Lord by taking an example of a tree whose roots are you, and what are the saps, what are the branches, what are the fruits of this world. What are the fruits of this world? Pleasure and pain, right? Ultimately, who lives in this body? There are 2 birds, the witness and the soul. Who is it? Soul and the inner controller. 2 जने रहते हैं. सब कुछ तो आप हो. These gods are singing. They talk about depths of everything, and they keep saying that, Lord, everything is you. And you have taken birth to rid the burden of this earth. Rid the burden of this earth. You want everybody to be free of fear now. That is why the birthless has taken birth. Although he is there in everything. So he has not actually appeared. This is the most beautiful thing. They say, you are its resting place of everything, and you are the preserver too. Those whose wisdom is clouded by your Maya look upon you as many, but not so those who are wise. Those whose vision is clouded by Maya look upon you as many, but the wise don't, because उनको तो सब में प्रभु दिखता है. ऐसी कोई चीज भी नहीं है संसार में जिसमें प्रभु ना हो, जो प्रभु ना हो. We are in the Lord and the Lord is in us. सब कुछ कृष्ण में ही है. And now these devas, they don't want to go. They want to keep standing there. They want to have the darshan when the Lord takes birth. But then the Lord, there is again another, Akashwani. And they said, please disperse. You are going to reveal my secret. All of you disperse. But the Shivji and Brahmaji says, okay, to the other deities, why don't you go first? All the other gods, they say, no, then you will have extra time with the Lord. So no, we will all leave together. So Brahmaji and Shivji walk in front, followed by all the other devas, and they leave the cell. And after that, as we have seen even in Ramayana, Lord will give darshan to his parents. They have full knowledge of who is being born and when. So again, Vasudevji realizes what is happening. Not only this, Kans also knows. In fact, the world knows when somebody blossoms, when a flower blossoms, is it possible to hide the fragrance? No, right? The bees will come to know. When the Lord took his place in the womb of Ma Devaki, even Kans realized that there is something different about Devaki. There is something, she's glowing. She's glowing so much. She's bright, she's radiant. This was never the form of how Devaki used to look. There is no fear, there is no agony. There is a kind of confidence, there is a divine glow. The aura around her is so pacifying. And Kans knew that yes, finally the child who's going to destroy me is going to be born. He actually increased the vigil. He increased the guard. He was so scared. Just by looking at Devaki's glow, his fear increased many folds. Just by looking at Devaki's aura, just by feeling Devaki's aura, his fear increased and he could not sleep. It is said that during that period when Sri Hari was in Devaki's womb, Kans here could neither eat properly, nor sleep properly, nor drink properly. The constant thought of God being born, his killer being born, was with him. He would not sleep. He would dream of him. He would think of it. Even the food. He would worry whether the Lord would appear from here, whether the Lord would appear from the pillar, where will the Lord come from. He went crazy. All he could think and see was God, 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 God. That was the level of madness. He could only see God everywhere. Not a single second went by when he was not thinking about Sri Krishna. And this is exactly what was needed. This kind of a constant thought is needed. Be it with hate or love, where there is not a moment when the Lord is not in your thought. Bada mushkil hai. So it is easier to hate. So to liberate him, Lord said, let him hate me. To liberate him, let Shishupal hate me. To liberate him, let Dantavakra hate me. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? मुझे तो उनका कल्याण ही करना है ना. It was an environment of fear. He, the greatest king, the mighty warrior, that Kans was brutal. He was in fear. उठते, बैठते, सोते, जागते, Krishna, 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 Krishna. Devaki's eighth son. And Ma Devaki was glowing. Vasudevji was in immense bliss. Always remember, you do not have to go around saying anything to anybody. कुछ भी बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. To be very honest, many a times these words are trivial. When you start uttering these words, you start feeling कि क्या है इनमें, कैसे समझाएं. हरि की लीला इन 2-3 शब्दों में कैसे समझाएं? इसको तो अनुभव करना पड़ेगा. It is an experience. You'll have to experience it. Words are futile, totally futile. The magnitude of the devotee's experience cannot be verbalized. इसी के लिए बोलते हैं ना, मन मस्त हुआ अब क्या बोले. क्या बोले अब क्या बोले, मन मस्त हुआ अब क्या बोले. But then there is this other song, right? You don't believe a single word I say. It's only words, and words are all I have to take your heart away. पर क्या करें, शब्द ही है, Nahi. There is something beyond words which you can feel. And that is what Kans felt when he came close to Ma Devki's aura. That is why when we look around us and we say, why is someone behaving in this manner with me? Why is someone being mean to me? Or why is someone in love with me? It is because of your own aura. Why do people trust me or why do people not trust me? It is because of your own aura. You are sending those vibrations into the air. Why is it that when a sage comes to your house, even though he would not utter a word, be it like Ramana Maharishi, there would be a transmission of knowledge that happens, transmission of bliss. Why? But we forget it, right? We have to prove it to the world that no, we are good. Arey, the realization that you are good, the realization that you are saral means that you are not saral, right? The realization that I am very simple is the fact that you are not simple, because the simple or the saral does not even realize. The greatest devotee, Hanumanji, did he know what his power was? Nahi. Kya Ma Devki knew that she was so powerful that she is going to give birth to Sri Hari himself? Or Vasudevji felt that he is going to become a father of the greatest? No. They were oblivious. For them, it was their first nature to be nice and kind and saral. It was nothing unusual. Nowadays, when somebody is kind and good and generous, we find it very unusual. Nahi. It is our first nature to be saral. It is our first nature to be kind. It is our first nature to be giving. It is our first nature to be generous. What is happening around us right now is something that we should be thinking about. Mahadevki did not have any air about her divinity. Vasudevji did not have any knowledge about how divine he was. They were simple people, living a simple life. And trust me, it is the simplest of things that makes the biggest of difference. हमें कुछ ज़्यादा करना नहीं है to become like माँ देवकी और वसुदेव जी. Try and open your heart. Try and open your heart. Start expanding your heart. Do things which are for somebody who is not related to you. Somebody you do not know. Go help somebody who would never be able to help you back. And see your heart blossom. Yes, that is the nourishment for your heart. Pray to the Lord selflessly. Serve His creation selflessly. And then see the flower blossom. The flower will blossom and the fragrance is going to fill the world. तब आपको दुनिया में जाके डिंडोरा नहीं पीटना पड़ेगा. You will not have to go around with a loudspeaker saying, I've blossomed, I've blossomed. No flower does that. When you blossom, automatically the fragrance spreads and all around you will also start to blossom. Yes, one person blossoms and everybody around can bask in the glory and start to blossom. But uske liye we have to blossom. And when do we blossom? In the dungeons. See, Devki Ma and Vasudevji are in the dungeons hidden. That is what. Blossom alone. किसी को बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. Nobody needs to know. And when they need to know, they will know. When the time will come, when the shackles have to be broken, the Lord will do it, na? करेंगे वो. Blossom when you are alone. Secretly, without anybody knowing. Mahadevki, Vasudevji blossomed. And what happened? Not only all the Devas, Brahma and Shiv came, but God Himself came. Where? Where they were. And where there is God, there is everything. Everything follows. Yog Maya followed. All Maya actually was subdued. सब कुछ हुआ ना. All the doors opened themselves. Right? But then Devki and Vasudevji were doing tap in the dungeons for so many years, so much of suffering, yet they did not complain. So भाई आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है, तपस्या तो करनी ही पड़ेगी, साधना तो करनी ही पड़ेगी. We cannot say that it will happen overnight. नहीं होगा. You'll have to work hard. And work out alone, not seeking any recognition. वैसे भी ये दुनिया का क्या है? It will remember you today and forget you tomorrow. ऐसा recognition का करना भी क्या है हमें? आप तो कर्म करो, फल की चिंता भी मत करो, और अपना कर्म जो है ना वो प्रभु को अर्पित कर दो. All the fruits of your good deeds, offer it to the Lord himself. तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा. Don't even want the Lord, you don't even want the Lord to see and say, ha, you're doing very good. Nahi, Prabhu, I want to be like this. Even the fruits of my good deed, please you take. I do not want anything from you. I do not want anything from the world around me. Sansar to mujhe de hi kya sakta hai? And I know that I am not the doer. So you are taking, you are giving, you are there. In the dungeons, they flourished and they blossomed. Alone. Away from the limelight. Away from all that. That should be your focus. The problem is, we seek the result first. We seek recognition. We seek the end. We do not enjoy the journey. Only when you do not want, that Lord will want you. Only when you do not want, God will want you. And God wanted to become the son of Shatrupa and Manu. He wanted to be the son of Devki and Vasudev. And there he came. And it is said that he showed Vasudevji and Ma Devki his full form with Shank, Chakra, Gada, Padma in his hand, 4 arms. His divine Swarup was visible to Ma Devki and Vasudevji. And along with Brahmaji's stuti, there is a stuti of Ma Devki and Vasudevji. Beautiful stuti. And ultimately, what does a mother want? She says, don't. Your brightness is shining so bright, the people might harm you. Kans will come and harm you. See, that is a mother, right? Even though the Lord is standing, but she is his mother. So saying, you have to take away this brightness. I do not want anybody to see it. What if Kans comes and destroys it? Can we be so protective about our spirituality also? Just like Devki Ma said, nahi, don't shine. I do not want anybody to know. What if you are harmed? In the same way, hey Prabhu, I do not want anybody to know what is happening between you and me. I do not want anybody to know about where I am in my sadhana. I do not want anybody to know anything. I fear that if they find out, I'll sway away and they will take you away from me. This is how, when you are looking at the scriptures, there is a lot of depth in it. Each and every verse is telling us how to be on our spiritual journey. See again, in the dungeons, away from the limelight, quietly bearing all the pain and suffering, not complaining about the tortures they are going through, walking in faith. And when the Lord appears, then also when the Lord is awakened in their hearts, when they have become divine, yet they do not want to disclose their own glory to anybody else. Over here, why? Because of the fear that what they have got would be taken away. पर हम तो थोड़ा सा करते नहीं है, सारी दुनिया में डंडोरा पीट देते हैं, right? We'll do a little and we'll go around telling the world what we have done. We have to be like Ma Devki, Vasudevji. They got God, and that yet they want to keep him under wraps. This is a very big lesson for all of us. Don't go around showing or exposing your devotion or your good work. जितना दबा के रखोगे, जितना छुपा के रखोगे, उतना ही वो फूलेगा. It is going to blossom more if you keep it protected and secure. Don't expose yourself. And when the time comes, right? And when if it is needed, let Lord do it. At that time, you will just be the Nimit Matra. You will be the flute and the Lord will play the music. Why do you want to become the music? Why do you want to play the music? Become a flute, right? Let the Lord be a flute in Krishna's hand. Devki and Vasudevji are nothing but the flute in Krishna's hand. And that is why he has come. That is why he has come. And he's telling them, you did not desire me, I desired to be with you. I wanted to be your child. You wanted liberation, I wanted to be bound to you. I wanted to be bound to you. Isn't it divine? Isn't it beautiful? That the Lord is not born yet. He's taking permission from his future mother and father. He's informing them that this is what has happened, and then I'll take birth. Many people ask, when spiritual awakening happens, how will we come to know? When the sun rises, you come to know, right? Can anybody hide that the sun has risen? No. When the sun rises, eventually everybody will come to know. This is what happens when the spiritual awakening happens. You will come to know. Not only you, the world will come to know. But that should not be your objective. That should not be your objective. What do you have to do? You have to just blossom. The flower blossoms because it has to blossom. Not for the bees, not for you, not for me. The fragrance are spread because they have to spread. That is their destiny, that is their journey. That is all there is to it. We will see Krishna Janam in great detail in the next session. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya 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 Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki Jai Bolo Hanuman Ki Bolo Bajrang Bali Ki Jai Jai Shri Ram Jai Shri Krishna Jai Hanuman Jai Hanuman Jai Hanuman